Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I am making another kind of, not really too personal video, but I've noticed that a lot of the videos that I've been making that talk a little bit more about personal subjects, a little bit touchier subjects, or stuff that not a lot of people have really good access to as far as like educating yourself and having somebody to kind of just give you some advice on. So I think I'm going to do a lot more of those videos because they have a lot of attention and a lot of people have been liking those videos. So today I am talking about dealing with an irregular period and some of the symptoms and things that you have to go through. I personally deal with it, so I am giving you my personal aspect of it. And yeah, so really it's been a lot more common to find other women who have the same problem. But if you're really young, like if you just got your period, or if you're just starting to experience having an irregular period or a really heavy period, then I want to give you some advice and let you know that you're not the only person that has this. So just to start off, I'll start talking about just like an irregular period in general, because that's how I started off. I didn't really start off having like a really bad heavy period like I do now. So if you feel like you have an irregular period, well, you'll know that you have an irregular period because when you get your first period, you are told, or you're supposed to kind of track it. And that's really to help you out, because of course when you're older and you want to try to have kids, you have to track that as well. But really when you're young, it just helps you out, because then you don't have to worry about whether you need to check your pants constantly, or get gross, or if you stained your clothes or something like that. All those kinds of things. It helps you out just to have a little bit of peace of mind that when your period is supposed to come, so you'll be prepared and not have an episode like that. However, if you do, it is embarrassing and it does feel really gross. Of course you're gonna have to go home, but don't freak out about it. I mean, people are gonna say what they want, but it's a normal thing for females. Like, we can't stop it. We can't ask to not have it and be born without it. Like, it's just gonna happen. So don't let people tell you that it's gross and that you're the weirdest person ever because it happened to you. I guarantee you ask any women and they will have a story about going through that. I know I do, and it happens because either you don't know that you're supposed to track it, or you have one that's really irregular, like I'm going to talk about. So once you start tracking it, you'll kind of already realize that you have an irregular period, or even if you don't track it, you'll be able to know that you had a period like this month and then not these 2 months or something like that. You'll know that it hasn't come. And of course, there is the chance of being pregnant if you don't miss your period. But if you have not had sex or anything like that, then you're not pregnant. It happens. It happens just to people who have their periods, just women. It happens. So first, that's your first sign that you know that you have an irregular period. So the ways that you can help kind of regulate your period: one, when you're older, or if you are older right now and you are looking at this video, when you start to have sex with a partner regularly, it may regulate your period. I'm not saying that it's 100% gonna do that, so don't take my word for it, but it can. It just, every woman is different. So for me, it helped a little. For about 3 months, I want to say that we were together, it helped, but that's it. Also, a really good resource that can kind of help regulate your period, or at least help you track your period, is being with another female. It's really weird if you are, just starting out with your period. You're gonna be like, what? Why is that even a thing? Like, is that real? Yes, if you are with a woman for a while and not just in a relationship. Of course, if you're in a relationship, you two will definitely be in sync eventually, but also if it's just your best friend or something like that. I know when I had my roommate living here, we were in sync, and we still kind of are, not really, but we really have to like spend more time together in order to be in sync with each other. Also, your mother. My mom and I were in sync for a while, so that helped me out kind of know, because she was irregular too. So if she got her period, then it would help me out because she was kind of off too. So when she would get hers, and I would at least have some security knowing that I'm gonna get mine soon. Things like that. So being with another woman can help a lot. Having a partner can help. Also, when you're young, they give you the option to be put on birth control. Now, they also give you the option to be put on birth control if you have a really heavy period. Now, just because you have an irregular period does not necessarily mean that it will be really heavy, but a lot of women who have an irregular period, like me, have it really heavy. So, this is crucial. This is like the best part of the video. If you're brand new or you just really need advice. So, birth control is not a bad thing. You are not a person who is sleeping around or anything like that just because you're on birth control. Yes, birth control obviously helps you from not getting pregnant, but the stuff in birth control helps lessen your period. If it is really like strong, it will kind of reduce like how much you bleed. It'll also reduce some of the pain that comes with it, because sometimes if you have an irregular period, if it like hits, it's gonna hit really hard, and it's just like, so basically you skip 2 months, you're having 2 months worth of pain all in at one time, which is pretty sucky for some people. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it can, and that's why birth control helps. So if you're offered that treatment, of course it's going to be something that you have to talk to your parents about. They're going to have their permission, unless you're 18 when this is happening. If you're 18, again, that's your choice. Now, I will say that I don't know if every doctor does this, but mine certainly did. She let me know that if being on birth control, you may have symptoms that make you uncomfortable and that make you want to stop having birth control, but that varies with every woman. I didn't have anything whatsoever. However, there is women that have headaches when they're on birth control, or if they have like the pill, it makes them sick, so they get like the shot in their arm. It's completely up to you the way that you want to do it. I have a friend who's on the shot and she loves it. I didn't want to do the shot. I was on the pill. I'm not on the pill anymore, but that's just for my own personal reasons. So don't be like afraid of birth control, and don't be afraid if they tell you, you may have side effects. It varies with every woman. You're not going to end up in the hospital or anything like that. It just make you feel uncomfortable. You may feel tired all the time, and of course you don't want to be tired at work or at school or things like that, so then you'll stop birth control. Also, a really good thing to kind of take ahead of time, even if you can track your period a little, or if you just kind of want to regulate your body in taking it, would be taking ibuprofen. Ibuprofen does help with the swelling of your body, and even if you can't track your period, at least your body will be like regular and you won't have your period hit you as hard, if that makes sense. So if you start taking it like say every week or something like that, something that can help regulate your body, it won't hit you as hard because your body will kind of have that defense up. Now, also with having a heavy period, it's going to be hard if you're brand new to having a heavy period, getting the right pad for you. So of course there is like the small pads that aren't very thick, but you hear people say that they're very absorbent. They are, but only to a certain extent. So be careful in the one that you pick. It's best to pick a really thick one. They're not always the most comfortable ones. I will tell you that right now. They are not the most comfortable things in the world, but they will help, and they will at least give you a peace of mind that you will not be like leaking or anything like that. You can also use heavy pads if you're not too sure of how your period is yet. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what they're made for. If you don't know how to look for pads yet, my best advice is to give you is to get the overnight ones. The ones that are made for overnight are made for when your body is laying in a certain way, and it's like your period is going in one direction or on one spot. So they're a lot more absorbent to give you like that 12-hour period or 8-hour, whatever time that you're like sleeping, that you're not gonna get up and change your pad. And so that's the best one to get. I mean, there is other ones that are more absorbent. It's gonna just be personal preference. You have to try them out and kind of decide which one that you want to pick out. Also, a reason for you possibly having a heavy period is something called endometriosis. If you have heard of it, then awesome. If you haven't, I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So basically what happens is that you bleed extra because there might be like a tear or nothing like severely life-threatening, but it does make you bleed a lot more, and it kind of makes your period like wonky a little bit. Now if you are like told that you have it, it won't like severely hurt you or anything like that. There's ways to kind of calm it down and fix it and things like that. So it's not something that, you know, it's going to ruin your life. Also, if you have a doctor that tells you that you are never going to have children because of it, don't listen to them. That's not the fact that you will never have it, it's just that you can't track it regularly. If you watch my last couple videos back about my tips about being pregnant, if you are older and you are thinking about being pregnant and you feel like you can't because of the fact that your period is really heavy or that you have a wonky period, it's not that you will never get pregnant, it's just that it's kind of hard to know if you're going to ovulate that month, because you may ovulate, you know, in January, not have another period until February, so that obviously throws it off, so you may not ovulate those 2 months. So that's just a little bit of tips and advice. I can't really think of anything else that you would really need to know. Like I said, don't be afraid to take birth control. It does help. The type of birth control that you take is completely up to you. And one last thing, that was what I was going to talk about. When you do have a regular period, don't be afraid to wear a panty liner every day. In my personal experience, I have to wear a panty liner every day. Not necessarily for the fact that I am like super over, like I overthink everything and like I'm gonna start my period like super soon or something like that. It's just a peace of mind for me. And also sometimes when you ovulate, when you are about to get your period, anything like that, you discharge. And it's not gross. I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's not something that you should be ashamed of or something that makes you different from anybody else. It happens, and that's a great way to not get it anywhere else, just on the panty liner. And as far as panty liners, there are different absorbencies, there's different kinds. It's your personal preference, and honestly, the ones that I use came from the Dollar Tree, and they work perfectly fine because I use them every day. I don't really want to spend $6 on like a 50-pack because I use them every day. I need them every day, so the cheaper I can get them, the better. But like I said, everything like that is personal preference. This is just some of like my outlined advice as far as, you know, what birth control you take, what pad you use, and things like that. That's going to be completely up to you. It's kind of like a trial and error kind of thing. But my number one tip is going to be, don't feel like you are the only one. Trust me, there's a bunch of other women that have it. They may not talk about it, or you know, you may have not asked or anything like that. So if you have any more questions that I didn't really answer in this video, leave them below. All my social media and like the way to contact me is down there too. So if you don't want to like leave a comment, you can message me, and I'm not gonna like say your name unless you like tell me to. So I may just make another video, kind of like a question and answer video about this, or if you have another like personal or something kind of topic that you would like advice on, you leave it below, and I would definitely make another video like that. And yeah, so see you guys next time. Bye.